Hi Taurus, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing your weekly reading for July. I hope everybody's doing well. I do want to take a quick second to remind you that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every single Taurus out there. So guys, if it's not resonating with you, you can check your other signs and placements, see if your messages are there. But basically, just take what resonates, leave the rest for someone else. Keep in mind that the energies can reverse. So if it is resonating, guys, get in where you fit in. But as always, don't force yourself into a reading that's not for you. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Taurus? Taurus. Taurus. All right, Taurus, you are starting out with the Star card in reverse. You have the Nine of Pentacles and the Fool in reverse. All right, so Taurus, I can see that your emotions are kind of up and down. There's a bit of imbalance here with regard to emotions. You're healing from something, and I feel like you're spending a lot of time, on your own to do that. You are nourishing yourself. You're working very hard. It does look like your money is coming in, and that it looks like your money's doing well. And I definitely see that you're manifesting here, but be careful that you're not manifesting out of, a sense of neediness or a sense of emotional imbalance, because I do see you still healing from something. Definitely spending a lot of time on your own. I do see you being single. With the Fool in reverse, there's some sort of a new beginning that's trying to come in. But you may be kind of afraid. It could be because of an unbalanced situation from the past. But there's a sense of fear, an unwillingness to take a risk into something new. So let's see who's in your energy. Spirit, show me who is in Taurus energy. I mean, you do seem like you're kind of vibing on your own and you're doing fine here. So I don't feel like you're just running around always afraid and always out of control emotionally. You're doing very well, but you are still healing from something. And whatever that is what's causing you to have this fear of new beginnings. All right, so the person in your energy has the Four of Wands reversed. We have the Queen of Cups. You could be dealing with a Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer. And the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. So this is somebody that could have recently undergone a divorce or a breakup here. I do feel like this person has been kind of isolating as well. With the Queen of Cups, this is somebody that has definite emotions for you. They have feelings for you. Six of Pentacles tells me, though, that it's not an equal give and take. Yeah, this person feels there's not an equal give and take, and it's based on your fear of taking a risk. So I feel like this person may feel that they've been breadcrumbed here. They've either gone through an ending with you, or it could have been elsewhere. So let me see. But this person does have feelings for you with this Queen of Cups. Show me the energy between Taurus and this person. The Ten of Cups. You two make each other very happy. But it's fallen out of balance somehow. You both feel like each other is the Ten of Cups. That you could have, complete emotional fulfillment together. Show me what's affecting this relationship. Show me what's affecting this connection. The Eight of Swords. Feeling trapped in feelings and emotions. Overthinking things, feeling bound, not sure what direction to go in, unable to hear Spirit's advice. But this is self-imposed. Show me the outcome at the end of the week for Taurus and this person. Show me the outcome at the end of the week for Taurus and this person. Knight of Cups reversed. You both have feelings for each other, but because of the anxiety and the fear that's here, the overthinking. You're both looking at this as a dangerous proposition, and so you're both holding those feelings and emotions back. You fear taking a risk with this person. This person feels like it's not a balanced connection between the two of you, so neither of you are expressing your feelings. Although I think that this person has expressed feelings in the past. So bottom of the deck is the Four of Pentacles in the reverse. This is underlying energy, and it's basically about, you know, letting your guard down and, you know, releasing something here that you may have been holding on to, some sort of a grudge, or, you know, something that you were holding on to that was keeping you protected, keeping you guarded, or at least you felt it was. So this is letting your guard down. Be careful too, because with the Four of Pentacles reversed, you could have an unexpected loss financially. So just be aware of that and keep your eyes open. All right, so let's clarify. Spirit, why is the Star card in reverse for Taurus? Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, you're enjoying being single. Nine of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands reversed. Yeah, so you feel that staying single and focusing on you and focusing on your money is going to keep you out of any kind of complications, any kind of difficulties. So I feel like you've had some, either with this person or in another relationship, you had a lot of difficulties, and now you're avoiding that by staying single. Yeah, you're kind of nose to the grindstone, focusing on your money. When you're not focusing on your money, you're focusing on self-improvement, possibly spirituality. You're trying to avoid problems. You don't want any more problems in your life. And I feel like there's a lot of problems that you were feeling kind of hopeless about, and you're starting to work those through. But there's a strong sense of you feeling a need to be independent and on your own right now. We have the Knight of Pentacles reverse, the King of Swords in reverse. So that's some stuck energy here. And there's also some dishonesty that you're worried about. So you're up in your head thinking about some kind of dishonest communication that's preventing you from moving forward. It could also be some sort of dishonest communication that has kind of held your money up as well. But I feel like you're worried about it. There's something very dishonest here, that you think this person's dishonest or you've done something, but there's dishonest communication that's kind of put you in this holding pattern. I feel like you don't want to talk about it, though. You think about it a lot, but you don't want to talk about it. Why is the Fool in reverse? Why is the Fool in reverse for Taurus? All right, we have the Lovers and we have Judgment in reverse. You're afraid of making a bad judgment call. This could be a reconciliation, and you're afraid to move into a reconciliation, even though you feel this is a soulmate. You may even feel like, you know, Spirit has brought the two of you together, that this is your soulmate. But there's a deep fear of making a bad judgment call. And so I feel like that fear is what's keeping you back. And you don't want to talk about it either. Yeah, you could even be avoiding this person in your energy. Let me see their energy. Why is the Four of Wands in reverse? All right, we have the Star card reverse. That's your energy. The Emperor. The Seven of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups reversed. So this person may feel that the two of you this is a divine connection. I feel like this person thinks about you a lot. They focus on you. So it looks like you were either married to this person or in a long-term connection, because there was an ending here. This person felt like they had invested quite a bit in this connection. They felt like, you know, you were their happiness. You both felt very hopeless once this ended. So this person in your energy, Taurus, they kind of shut down emotionally. They went into business mode, basically. They were like, no, I'm going to take control of my life. They could be a business owner, or they could be, you know, a manager, a top-level manager or something. So they kind of went into business mode, and they began to, you know, manage just themselves, invest in just themselves, and they shut their heart down. Their heart is not open any longer, whereas in the past, I feel like their heart has been open to you. But this ending here affected them. They're healing from it. You're healing from it. So I do feel like this person has been very patient with you. I feel like this is somebody who, you know, they're in business mode, but they're not expressing their feelings and emotions. But they do, you both feel like the two of you could be very happy together. They want to invest in the connection, but their heart's not open right now. Why is the Queen of Cups here? Why is the Queen of Cups here for the person in Taurus energy? All right, we have the Six of Swords, and we have the Six of Pentacles. All right, so here the Six of Pentacles is in reverse. So this person feels like in order to get an equal give and take, and that's what they desire with regard to love, they feel like they're going to have to leave all this chaos behind. They're going to have to move forward. I do feel they would rather move forward with you and leave the chaos behind. And the two of you move into something much more peaceful that is very balanced and very, you know, loving, you know, and they could open their heart up. They could be generous with you again. Because this is actually, Taurus, somebody who is very loving and generous, very intuitive as well. But they have kind of shut that part of themselves down. They kind of went into business mode, like I said, where they're focusing on their money. They're focusing on their life. They're not really open to love. So I feel like they want to move away from that, but they'd rather, you know, that current state that they're in, they want to open up their heart, but they want something balanced and equal give and take, or they're just going to move away from this connection. And so that's where their concern and worry is coming from. Whether or not to move away from the situation in order to find peace and love. And for you, your concern, your anxiety has to do with either some dishonest communication or, you know, something dishonest that has you stuck. Let me see why the Six of Pentacles is in reverse. The Sun reversed, and there we have the Fool in reverse. Yeah, you both have the Fool in reverse. You're both worried about, you know, taking a risk with each other. You both are wondering, is it a good idea? You both want to, but neither of you are willing to take that risk. This person in the past has been very unhappy. In fact, they still are. They're unhappy because they want this equal give and take, but they feel like they're getting breadcrumbed. And so this is what's bringing up the fear for them. See, you're afraid of making a poor judgment call, but they're afraid that they're never going to have an equal give and take with you. It's never going to be balanced. And that they're ultimately just going to wind up unhappy. So they just don't know whether it's a wise idea to jump into anything. And they also feel like you're holding secrets. Let me look at the energy between Taurus and this person. Queen of Swords reversed and the Queen of Wands. All right, so you could be dealing with a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Leo's pretty strong. Pisces is also very strong, though. All right, so you both saw each other as happiness at some point. I feel like at some point, though, Taurus, you cut this person out of your life, choosing to be single because you just didn't want to deal with any more problems. I feel like you lost hope in the connection at some point. And so I feel like you became angry. You could have been very ill-tempered towards this person. And I feel like a happy relationship kind of degraded down into one that there were just numerous problems. So your answer to that was to cut this person out. And it looks like you did it rather harshly. And, you know, not deal with any of the problems any longer, but just to become single and independent. Now, this person has tried to be very patient with you. This is a very attractive person, by the way. With the Queen of Wands here, this person is somebody that gets a lot of attraction, a lot of attention. I mean, they're very attractive. They have a very, you know, charismatic way about them. People just enjoy being around them. They're somebody who takes action. They're very action-oriented. And again, I'm getting, for some of you, this person could own a business or be a high-level manager. And if they do own a business, they have a very strong business sense, but they also have the love of their employees. So this is somebody that is being very patient with you, but they are gaining attention from others around them as well. This is somebody who has some very passionate feelings towards you. Let's see why this Eight of Swords is here. All right, we have the Eight of Coins reversed and the Knight of Swords. Oof. So this person's going to communicate with you. They're going to let you know that they love you, but in order for this to move forward, then it's going to have to be that equal give and take. This is the energy of somebody who is empowered, the energy of somebody who is speaking their truth. Although it's hard for them to do it, they're going to, and it's likely to come about rather impulsively in order for them to feel peace within themselves. Now, I feel like you're not putting any effort into this connection, especially with regard to moving it forward or to even communicating in a, you know, honest or consistent manner. Your energy appears to be going into you. It's that energy of, I'm single, I like being single, I'm not trying to change that. So you're realizing that the two of you are at odds with what it is that you both want. And you just feel like there's no way this is going to work out, especially if you have something here that you haven't been honest with this person about. You may feel like it's just not going to work out. So I do feel that you worry about that, but it's self-imposed, Taurus. You know, at any point you could put effort into this connection, or you could decide to be very transparent and very clear about whether or not you want to move this forward, and get out of your head. But this person is going to confront you at some point for their own peace of mind. So let's see your outcome at the end of the week. Show me the outcome for Taurus and this person at the end of the week. The Magician reversed, sign of Gemini, Temperance reversed, and the Hierophant, sign of Taurus. All right, so Taurus, I do feel like you have a lot of healing to do. I feel like by the end of the week, you're afraid of making a bad judgment call because you know that emotionally you're not balanced right now. I do think you see this person as a soulmate. I do feel like you think that, you know, Spirit has brought the two of you together. So there's a great fear here of taking a risk. It just feels like it's too risky and you don't want to make a poor judgment call. You know that you're not balanced. You know that this relationship's not balanced. But at the same time, I feel like you definitely love this person. So I do feel that you are going to be holding back your feelings and emotions, but they're going to bubble up. At some point, it's going to bubble up. It's just not going to be by the end of this week. And part of that's because you still need to do a lot of healing. In their energy, they're just as afraid as you are of making a bad decision or taking a risk in this connection. Why? Well, because they feel that it's not balanced. It's not a balanced connection, and that's important to them. They don't know if it's ever going to be balanced. They don't know if it's ever going to manifest. They don't know if you're basically manipulating them. So everything about this has its red flags, and so they're kind of holding back those feelings and emotions. Whereas in the past, I feel like they were open with you. They were very emotionally open and giving. You know, at this point, they're afraid to do that. They're definitely afraid to do that. One of you could be seeking counseling or perhaps talking to a spiritual leader. Somebody here is getting advice from somebody that they trust, most likely a spiritual leader. Could be a tarot reader or a psychic, though. I just feel like right now you're both holding back, but I just don't think that's going to last forever. So, bottom of the deck is the Two of Swords. This is underlying energy, and it's basically indicating that after a lot of indecision, a decision will be made. And that decision has to do with letting go of something, letting go of a grudge, letting that guard down. And that's the underlying energy here. So whatever this is, looks like it's going to basically, because of all the stuck energy and all the fear, is going to kind of creep along this week. This person could confront you about not putting any effort into the connection, though. But I don't see anything other than that really budging a lot this week, but there's feelings that are going to be bubbling up at some point. All right, I'm going to pull some oracles, Taurus, and we'll see if, we'll see what comes out. Pulling for Taurus. All right, Taurus, let's see what you got. Yeah, fire sign. So you may be dealing with a fire sign, Taurus, an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. We saw that here as well. All right. Divorce, experiencing a breakup. We also saw that. We have intimacy, sexual chemistry, and reminiscing. So you may have my words won't come out. You may have had a very intimate relationship with this person where there was a lot of sexual chemistry, and either you or this person could be thinking back on that. And then we have let go, the underlying energy, letting go. Make room for the new beginning on its way to you now. So it's basically saying you're dealing with possibly a fire sign or someone with a lot of fire in their chart, or they exhibit the energy of a fire sign. It's saying, okay, here was a breakup. This was a fiery romantic situation at some point. You're both thinking about one another. It's time to let go of whatever it is that you're both holding on to, which is a lot of fear, and in order for this new beginning to happen. All right, well, I do hope that this has been helpful for you, Taurus. If you've resonated with this reading, please hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe. And until I see you in your next reading, Taurus, namaste.